Steady. Someone's got a guilty conscience.
Filthy hangover, more like.
Yeah. Well, if you think you've got a bad head, wait till you see Charity.
She really let her hair down last night, eh?
You can't have sobered up either. The last time you cleaned my car, you were in short trousers looking for some extra pocket money.
It was a bit of a mess. Had to chuck some tools in it last night to make the yard secure.
Right. Well, I'm just on the way over. Thought I'd check out the damage for myself.
No need. All sorted.
We thought you might like a bit of a lie-in this morning.
Well, the security wants reviewing, doesn't it? The amount we pay them boys, they can't stop a couple of kids breaking in.
Could have been worse. Disturbed them before they got to the computers. Hardly anything missing.
All in hand, then?
We didn't want to put a downer on the morning after the night before.
Right. Well, I'll take my thick head back to bed, then. Oh, give us a shout if you need me.
You know, I can't keep fobbing Frances off. Ronnie's just told me she needed sedation when she found out. Can't you just try and talk to her?
No. Tell you what, I'll dial a number and put you on. Maybe you can manage a word or two.
No way, and I don't want her around here either.
Mrs. Marsden, I'm PC Calburn, and this is my colleague, PC Johnson. Can we have a word, please?
Better come in.
Chad's swords. She hates me. There's no way she's going to keep her gob shut.
The state she was in last night, she wouldn't have noticed if she'd seen us dismembering the body.
I was in that house when Siobhan came back. I was inches away from her.
All we can do is hold our nerve.
I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept seeing his face.
Just keep it tidy. If anyone asks, the worst thing that happened last night is your dad got engaged to that slapper of a girlfriend. As far as you're concerned, Paul's at home, having his cornflakes right now. All right.
That's how Paul got a black eye.
Yeah, Carl King whacked him a few days ago.
Something and nothing over some stupid photographs. Carl grovelled a bit, they soon made up.
If you could let us know where we might find Mr. King.
Holgate Farm. If you head out the village and it's up next to the Dingles.
A post-mortem examination was carried out late last night. Pathologists found nothing to suggest foul play. Paul must have lost his balance and fallen, breaking his neck. Death would have been instantaneous. He wouldn't have suffered. There will be a full inquest in due course.
I didn't like him so much just to change the toilet paper. What was he doing out there? It doesn't add up.
Anything good in there today? Hey, I bet the problem page is a bit racy this time of the morning.
If that thing is intended for me, you can take it right back where it came from.
You ought to get up and about again, don't you?
I'd rather die than shuffle about with that glorified fire guard.
You know you don't mean that.
No, thank you.
Come on, up we get.
No, thank you.
Well, the consultant won't sign you off till he's happy you can use it. So, unless you fancy another few weeks of hospital food, I'd give it a try, eh, Petal?
Just get up there and get on with it, unless you want Dad asking awkward questions.
I can't.
Leave them to me. Only speak when you're spoken to.
Carl King.
This is your man. I'm his brother Matthew.
I don't know if you're already aware, but last night there was an accident in the village involving Paul Marsden. Unfortunately, he died as a result of his injuries.
Paul's dead.
How'd it happen?
You got time for a quick word?
Yeah, sure. You better come in.
You only had to hear her screaming to know it was something awful.
It's almost inhuman. I'll never get the sight of that poor boy out of my mind, not ever.
I've never seen a dead body before. Why did it have to be him?
Such a waste.
It's a terrible thing to lose your husband so young.
I don't know. Might prove cheaper than a divorce.
I don't find that at all amusing. I lost my first husband in a tragic accident.
I'm sorry. I had no idea.
And Paul, the postman's just been killed falling off his roof.
The minute he's here, driving me up the wall with his laissez-faire attitude to collection times, and the next minute, gone, just like that.
Oh, how tragic.
And his wife, his widow, has beside herself. I've just had to ring his mother for her. She couldn't bring herself to do it. Well, you can't blame her for that. Paul was all she had. She has no family, nothing of her own. And on top of all that, the poor kid's got the police to deal with. Yeah, I could weep for her, I really could.
When I'd calmed down, I apologised for smacking him, and we shook hands on it.
His wife tells me Paul was here yesterday. Did you see him?
Only for a few minutes. Then he went home. I can't believe he's dead.
How's Siobhan coping?
Well, it still hasn't hit her, to be quite honest.
And all the while we were knocking back champagne at my father's engagement party.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Thanks for your cooperation, Carl.
Anything we can do to help?
Thanks for your time. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How can you watch this junk when poor Paul's lying dead in a coffin somewhere?
I don't think he's bothered either way. It's very educational. All human life is here, Donna. Oh, look at the size of them two. You can hardly fit them on the sofa. The programme's called Sex with Your Ex, How I Finally Won My Man Back.
Tragic how some women have to cling to the past.
Tragic how some women take the men for granted.
Unless you like poor old Siobhan who never even got the chance.
He was just lying there all pale like he'd gone to sleep. Not like he was dead. Mum, why did you let me see that? I'm going to be scarred for life.
I know, your first body's never easy, Donna.
What, you think I could cope with seeing another one? Never going to be able to go past that house again. In case he comes back to haunt it. And he's just lying there, covered in blood.
Oh, do try to pull yourself together, Donna. So you saw a dead body. If you were a nurse, you'd see them all the time.
Well, lay off her, Mum. She's had a nasty shock. We all have. I like Paul as well. Why don't you go and have a lie down? I'll bring you a nice cup of tea.
I don't have a bedroom, remember? I'm sick of this living like students. And I'm sick of the fact that Bob wakes me up every time he goes to the toilet. I'm sick of the stink of baby sick and dirty nappies. And I'm sick that I can't even get upset in private.
That's just weird. I mean, she's talking about him like he's still here.
What gets me is she's so calm. She's not so much as shed a tear yet. I'd be tearing the walls down.
If it was me who died, you'd be throwing a party.
Why does everything always have to be about you?
Hey, you're not the only one who's upset here, you know.
I know, I'm sorry. I just feel so useless. I mean, what else can I do for her except hang about and make cups of tea?
Is she in?
She's not up to visitors. So if it's the gory details you're after, you'll have to wait till you read them in the Courier.
It's just that when I saw him lying there last night, it brought it all back. I lost my Vic the same way. But, well, not exactly the same. It's just that one minute he was there and the next minute gone.
I'll pass on your condolences, OK?
Thanks for coming. I'm so sorry, Siobhan. It was the end of my world when I lost my Vic. And nothing anybody can say can make it any better.
You're right there.
But it does. Get better. Eventually. He was a lovely man, your Paul, and we're all miss him very much.
Thanks. Me too.
Talk about strange death. Oh, poor lad, falling off a ladder, clutching a TV aerial. And the worst thing is, his wife, the nurse, what's her name again?
Siobhan.
That's right. Well, apparently, she found the body, rolled home drunk as a skunk and fell over his body. And I thought we had a bad night. Was it something I said? Mrs.
Church? Now, what's this about you being difficult?
I beg your pardon.
With the best will in the world, Edna, isn't it? We can't help those who won't help themselves.
You can't force me to use that thing.
Force is much too strong a word. I wouldn't dream of it. However, the sooner you begin to cooperate with medical staff and get yourself mobile, the sooner we can free up your bed. You'll find it in your own best interest, love.
Mrs. Birch to you.
Don't you want to go home? Is that it? You live on your own, don't you? Now, if you feel you've been able to cope, we can always look into other options.
I am not alone in the world. I have friends and neighbours.
Well, you want to get back to them, won't you? Come on, up you get. Practice makes perfect. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Cheers. You always said I was selfish. I thought myself too much, never bothered about him. That's not true, Shiv. He was right, wasn't he? If I'd made sure I'd spoken to him instead of going out on the town, spending the all night slagging him off, this might never have happened. Can't blame yourself. No one else to blame, though, is there? All men are pigs. That's what we were saying. Stuff a lot of them, and all the time he's lying here dead. I hope it was quick, Claw. I hope to God he didn't suffer.
Do you reckon we got away with it? We did fine, kiddo.
I've got to see Siobhan.
And what good do you think that's going to do you?
She's got a right to know how her husband died.
So, you tell the bereaved widow that instead of phoning an ambulance, you shoved his body in your car boot, drove to Otten and back, and then faked an accident?
This isn't just about you anymore. We're all implicated. Me, Matt, Dad.
I'll tell them I did it. Then I panicked and I dragged you into it. Just shift, will you?
I really didn't want to do that.
We were messing about. I was having a laugh. Why did he have to go and die on me?
I've got a proposition for you. I know you're not going to like it, but just hear me out.
I'm really sorry, Terry. I have not put her up to this, I swear.
I'm bracing myself. Go on.
We're living in slum conditions across the road. Viv's making my life a living hell. She only has to see me and Bob together and she goes puce and lunges at me.
Hey, hang on. You and me living under the same roof? No way.
Not me, Terry. Me and Dawn and TJ.
I've only got 2 bedrooms.
I never said anything about you staying there, did I? I'll have a large G&T, please.
Oh. Oh.
Hey. Nice to see you up and about.
Oh, Jarvis.
You look shattered.
Oh.
How about if I give you a hand to get back to bed?
No, can't be doing that, can we? Might never get her back on her feet again.
I hardly think that's...
She knows she can't go home unless she can walk up and down this ward unaided.
Oh, seems a bit sudden to me. She were only in theatre last week.
Oh, well, we like to get patients out of bed as soon as, especially at her age, you know. You find things seize up if they don't get much use.
I beg your pardon.
Actually, I'm quite glad you're here, Mr...
Skelton.
Yeah, only we're a bit concerned about her home situation.
Look, if you are talking about me, you can address me directly.
She's going to need some help when she gets home. She won't be able to get upstairs to the lavatory, that sort of thing.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
So we just need to know there's someone there to keep an eye on her, you know, pop in, make sure she's not lying in the middle of the carpet like an upended beetle.
Feeling better?
If I were you, I'd take the rest of the day off. Chill out. See if you can get your head straight.
Matt said it's business as usual. What about Dad?
Leave them both to me. Come on, get this down you. You're so pale you could be a corpse yourself. We've got the worst of it over with. Look at me, Carl. Have I ever lied to you? It's all gonna be fine.
You want me to make myself homeless just because it suits you?
Your son's camping out in someone else's home. It's not too much to ask, is it?
It would help if he could get into some kind of routine again.
Poor child never gets a night undisturbed with Bob's hours so late. And all Donna seems to do is slam doors. I didn't think you'd let the poor child suffer, just because she's separated.
Don't turn it round on me.
It'd go down well with the Kafkas thing, if you're prepared to make a sacrifice to put a roof over his head. Show them you're a concerned father, don't you think?
We've managed to get a grip. Why the hell can't he?
He's just shaken. He's never seen a dead body before, let alone have to chuck one in the boot of his car.
It wasn't exactly the highlight of my week either, but unlike him, I'm dealing with it.
He saw Paul die. For God's sake. I'm no psychologist, but I suspect that slapping him every time he looks like he's going to wobble isn't the way forward.
So, what should I do? Stand back and watch him spill the beans to Siobhan? Hell's fire, I thought you reckoned he'd gone to bed.
Is she fit to be let out in that condition?
Well, it's all care in the community nowadays. Either that or they're cultivating bed sores on a hospital trolley for weeks.
Oh, it looks as if they're letting her out tomorrow. But she'll need a fair amount of looking after. So we need a plan.
I'll organise a cleaning rota.
Hey, and the bed won't bring him downstairs.
Aye. We'll shift some of her furniture into my shed.
She'll be in the best possible place. Hey, a right Florence Nightingale I am. My Frank Bernard used to swear by my healing hands.
I mean, he wasn't that bothered about the TV in the first place. There'd be nothing on he'd want to watch anyway. What possessed him?
I've not come to intrude. I've just come to say how sorry I am. I really am.
Thank you.
That's kind of it, really.
Stay for a drink at least.
Hi.
Can I see it?
Turn round! Turn round!
It's unfair. Why him? Why yours? Why now?
A tragic accident. Yeah, you'll hear that a lot over the next few days.
She has already. She wants someone to see her.
I'm so sorry, Siobhan. All this is...
Join the club. Just open another bottle, get him a glass of claw.
We'll pass on that, thanks. We don't want to intrude on private grief. You should wait for us, Carl. We were all going to come and pay our respects together.
I'm sorry, love, for your trouble.
We all are. I have to pass on my dad's condolences and Sadie's. My dad thought a lot of Paul.
What people did.
So, if you'll excuse us, but anything you want, anything we can help you with, just please call.
Thanks.
We'll see ourselves out.
Didn't know you were mates with the Kings.
We're not. Those two have never so much said hello before.
See? No one has a bad word to say about Paul.
But why the hell not, eh? You selfish swine! All these years I've been nagging him to get more done round the house and he starts to get it in his head to start swanning up ladders and damn well kills himself!
rubbish are you on?
I told you to stay away.
She's breaking her heart in there.
She'll get over it.
I can't leave her like this.
It wouldn't suit a soft lad like you, prison.
Come on.
You'd be fair game for every hard man with time on his hands. And I can't see Dad and Charity queuing up to visit you once a week.
Get in! We can't! Get flaming in!